let's dive into our next story, which is the absolute derangement over the Trump ballroom. And it's just laughable. And people are starting to check this out too. They are realizing that this is just another absolute ridiculous scam. It's just another Democrat nonsense talking point. We're going to dive into this clip, and then we're going to get into this whole Trump ballroom derangement, which is just classic. You're going to love it. Here we go.
Because I didn't want to crack 1,000. I didn't want people to get concerned because that's getting big. But we're going to have, we'll have the most beautiful ballroom in the country. It's going up. And for those that are interested, we got to get back to baseball. But you see the gold drapes? That's a knockout panel. We knock it in. You go. That comes out. And then you have essentially glass and exactly in the decor of the White House. I didn't know I'd be standing here right now because right on the other side, you have a lot of construction going on, which you might hear periodically. But that's a knockout panel, and that goes right into the ballroom, and the ballroom's going to be beautiful. So you'll have drinks, cocktails, everything on this floor, and then they'll say, welcome to dinner. You walk into the ballroom, Mr. Senators, and you're going to see a ballroom the likes of which I don't think it'll be topped. It'll be the finest. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I just started.
And this ballroom is going to be amazing. All the pictures that we have seen, it's absolutely amazing. And it's necessary. Realize that up until now, big state dinners have been hosted in tents on the White House lawn. You got women in glamorous dresses, foreign dignitaries come to the White House and, hey, we're going to host you in a tent. Really? Are you serious? This is absolutely, it's one of those things that it needed to be done. And it took Trump to see through the nonsense and actually get it done. Meanwhile, you've had hundreds of millions, even over time, billions of dollars of renovations and changes made to the White House that nobody nary batted an eye about. But now let's check out, I want you to see this video because this is absolutely classic. People are waking up to this. Even Democrats are starting to lose it. People like Fetterman are like, enough is enough already. But check out this video on the total Trump derangement over this ballroom, which is just, again, it's Trump derangement. That's really what this is.
Room plans may be turning into a sort of purity test for the Democrats. California Congressman Eric Swalwell posting on X, don't even think of seeking the Democratic nomination for president unless you pledge to take a wrecking ball to the Trump ballroom on day one. But that's not the attitude that we've seen from some of Trump's biggest media detractors. Both the Washington Post and the New York Times opinion pages now out with pieces defending the construction project. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Ben Dominus. Ben, it's great to see you.
You know it is bad when the Washington Post, the Washington Compost, and the New York Slimes are actually backing Trump over these ridiculous Democrats. That's how bad this is. That's how bad the Democrats are on the wrong side of this issue.
So this is what the Washington Post wrote. Privately, many alumni of the Biden and Obama White Houses acknowledge the long overdue need for an event space like what Trump is creating. It is absurd that tents need to be erected on the South Lawn for state dinners and VIPs are forced to use porta potties. The next Democratic president will be happy to have this. We should point out that Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, through Amazon, is a big donor to this project, but he doesn't control everything.
No, but John, look, you're the expert on this because you've been covering so many White Houses. You've been around a lot more of these state dinners than I have, certainly.
They're embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's actually, I mean, this is something that anybody who knows anything about the way that the White House has to handle this, I mean, it looks like a wedding that has been very poorly planned in terms of its logistics.
Indeed.
And in fact, when I interviewed the president in the Oval several months ago, he brought this up specifically and started talking about the women in their nice shoes sinking into the wet grass and the like. That's the kind of thing that you've seen happen over and over in this White House. And look, other nations have setups that are much more impressive. And I think that the president really, this is about more than just his legacy. This is dealing with a significant problem, and anyone serious can say that. The idea that Swalwell is establishing a litmus test for getting rid of this, he's basically saying we need to agree to a giant waste of taxpayer money to punch.
Exactly. Swalwell is saying that unless you agree to demolish at taxpayer expense something that was paid for privately, because Trump has donated $100 million of his own money, plus he's gotten donors, private donors to fund the rest of this. Taxpayers aren't paying for anything, which is the other major scam. So this is merely a huge TDS, Trump derangement. It's an expose of it. This is absolutely crazy. So check out this because there's more Trump derangement on this.
My wife and I in the East Wing. I can't believe it's gone. The only problem is that's not the East Wing.
It's
That's
not.
the diplomatic reception room, which is on the ground floor of the White House, which is what the president walks through every time that he goes out to the helicopter. So Mary Catherine Ham posted a picture of herself and her husband at your Halloween party,
Yes.
which I attended a couple of years ago, when she said, my husband and I in the East Wing, he tried to save it. I can't believe it's gone.
You know,
You've got these ridiculous, idiotic libs posting pictures that aren't even in the East Wing saying, oh my gosh, the East Wing is gone. This is just absolute. You can't make this stuff up. These people are really that stupid. They are really that Trump deranged. Now, I want to give you this little clip, because this is what the American people realize. This is what they know. And if people don't know what, they're finding it out, and they're seeing through the ridiculous Democrat TDS lies. Check this out.
Here's even something more confounding. Some breaking news. Just now, the White House announced construction of a $200 million White House ballroom that will begin in September. A $200 million ballroom. Where'd this money come from? Did Congress appropriate it? I don't think so. It's almost like Doge was never about waste at all.
President Trump and other donors have generously committed to donating the funds necessary to build this approximately $200 million structure.
Exactly. It's all privately funded. That's the whole point. It's not costing taxpayers anything. Check out this one. He figures it out too.
I don't like posting a lot of videos on Facebook or X or anything like that, but I do have to post another video, because this is my second one today, is that I see a lot of liberals complaining about the $200 million ballroom that's going to be added to the White House. And I don't think that a lot of people are really aware that Donald Trump is donating $100 million to have this done. And the rest of them are private donations. So it's not coming out of taxpayer funds. And I really just don't understand the outrage. I just don't get it.
Most people don't understand the outrage. That's the whole point. Even Fetterman doesn't even understand the outrage. TDS is awful. And it is actually causing people to lose friends, that they are so Trump deranged. They are so lib. They're so far to the left. It's absolute nonsense. And I feel sorry for you, but it's happened. It's happened to me too. And I really appreciate everybody rolling up. Let me just take this brief moment. Please smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications if you haven't already. But true to this woman's form, we've got other Trump deranged people actually calling for revolution. This is nonsense. I personally think they should find this guy and lock him up because this is seditious conspiracy. But here we go.
The White House has announced that they are building a $200 million golden ballroom in the White House. And you know what I think? You really want to know what I think? Come in closer. I think it's time that we emulate 1783 France and remind this fake king what we do to people who spend more money on ballrooms than most of us will ever make in our lives.
Okay. Emulate 1783 France says, let's have a revolution and kill the president. I hope the Secret Service is looking at this guy. But regardless of how wacko this nutcase is, that is not the sentiment of the rest of the American people. And remember that the White House has been renovated over and over and over again, from Taft to Truman to Nixon to Obama, over and over and over again. And the American people are just not, they are not buying into this. This was a YouGov poll. So, impressions of the ballroom, or, positive impact or negative impact on the White House, 23% positive, 30%, neither one, have no dog in the fight, 35% negative, 12% not sure. So you've got over 50% of the American people are either, yeah, this is good, or I don't care. And then you got another 12% not sure. So the idea that the American people are against this have once again, the Democrats have put themselves on the wrong side of an issue. They are once again with the minority of American people. They're with the 35%. Usually they're on the 20% of an 80-20 doom loop. At least this time they're with 35%. But again, people are waking up to the fact that there's no taxpayer funding going in this, and it's radically shifting. this is not going to go well for Democrats. This is just another example of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome on steroids, because they have nothing else to fight. Really, they're down to fighting about the ballroom, and they're down to fighting about ICE, which is an absolute 80-20 doom loop issue. And they're about to get FAFO'd on that issue too. As the Supreme Court and the appellate courts allow Trump to deploy National Guard, it's going to get really, really ugly for Democrats and Antifa protesters.